Hi, here is Simon speaking of 3D-almanac.com. Thank you for joining us today for another review. Today we have a look at the Skin Builder 3 product. It's a tool for Genesis 3 Female by Sef-Zero, Disco Bob and the late Dragonstorm. And it allows you to create, based on settings that you put out, a versatile range of skins. Let's see how the Skin Builder 3 for Genesis 3 Female works. So we have only a script tab here, a lot of do not click scripts that are probably called by the main script. There is a product support icon that just opens the forum thread for the product, and the only item that we actually have to start is the Skin Builder 3 script. So we loaded a test setup with a G3F base figure, and now let's start the script. So here you have the scripts. So there are some basic settings that are important to do first. So the first is to set a directory where all the temporary files are created. They are not cleaned up by the script, says the manual, so you have to clean it up from time to time, otherwise it can get quite big. And you have to decide if you want to do iRay or not iRay. So we want to do iRay, so it's correct. So you can open the user guide. It's a PDF. It's opened outside of the screen, but you can click here and the PDF is opening. And there's also a merchant resource agreement, so the skins that you create using the script can be used for other products. So if you want to know what you have exactly to do, if you want to use the skins that way, make sure to read the merchant resource agreement. So here is the skin, the base skin, the first tab where you create the base skin. So it starts in a pretty dark mode, and then you can add certain settings. So this is pale, light and medium texture. You can do some mix to get exactly the tone you want to have. If you don't like the tint, you see you have here an tint setting that you can change. So if you want to have a pink skin just for fun, you see you now are just changing the pink settings, but if you go back to 0 it will reset this. Oh, this is interesting. No, you have to first do the lightness and then change the tint. Otherwise the tint is reset. But of course you don't want to have a pink skin or something like that, but let's say we create a light texture and I want to have it a little bit more yellowish, then I take a slight yellow or something like that, and you see you have an effect here. You can also change the translucency color. That also gives some effect. So if you also want to go a little bit more in the yellowish here, maybe here, something like that, you see you also get a different effect. You can change a couple of glossiness settings. Can't really see this here. Let's do this for starters. So let's first build the skin. This takes a bit of time. So it tells me now a new skin is created. So we see now that we have a pretty different skin on G3F now. So let's start the iRay preview to get an idea what's going on. So, and now you can see this skin with this nice skin tone. So let's see what adjustment function we have. We can adjust the nipple color and the visibility, and we can do some color blending. Not 100% sure what this is doing. Then the next part is creating overlays. So there are different settings. So there are some flushes, dark pose, fine detail. So let's try out how this changes it. Apply skin detail. So now the skin details are loaded. You can see that the skin is looking a little bit less even, so that's a nice effect. So we also put on some clothing on poor Genesis 3 female to get it a little bit less adult. So there's also some Freckle options. So I think we select head Freckles and body Freckles. Visibility strength we leave here, and we click apply Freckles. So Freckles are created, and you can see we can leave this at any time to have a better look. So let's get the closer look. Here you can see, so the Freckles are pretty dark and there are a lot of them, so probably if we would redo it we could get a little bit less Freckles and some lighter color, but you get the idea. So it's pretty easy to create things like Freckles. So go back to the script. So and we won't try them out all now, so you can create some veins that are looking through. Very important if you have a very light skinned texture, and some more. So for all the characters, some spider veins, age spots also for older characters, some molds you can create there. Also can set wear and all the other settings. Acne for especially for younger characters probably, and some stretch marks on the body to mainly at the breasts to get some reality on there. And a very nice feature, the 10 lines, and you can see here there are quite a few of designs here. So maybe let's do this since we already put an outfit on here. So I think those are pretty similar to the ones that we currently have on. So let's maybe a little bit lighter and apply upper lower 10 lines. Again, all this creation processes take, let's say, 1 to 2 minutes, so you have to wait a moment, but it's not too bad. So 10 lines are applied. At the moment I don't really see them, so maybe get back to the full body cam. Probably we just took too perfectly the kind of outfit, so let's hide the bra. Yes, you see them, but they are very, very light, so probably we should have gone for a higher setting. Let's have another look here at the... Yeah, you see them very, very lightly. So let's get some clothing on her again and restart the script. So much for the overlays. So there are some makeup options. There's a blush option. There's some shadow options. And some liners and lip options. You can do different colors. Let's maybe create one of the lip options. Let's get something brightly pink and start this. So lips are applied, and here you see some quite catchy lipstick settings. So then there are some brow options, so there are a couple of settings how they can look like. So let's choose something lighter, and you can set the brow color. So we want to something brownish, and let's go with a standard setting, maybe some height, and apply them. So the brows are created, they're looking pretty nice. I think we selected a pretty good color for the skin type. So the next one are the eye sections, so you can create eyes here. There are different iris presets. 3 of them you can set the color, and there are some fantasy options, so they're working the same, but you have a different iris settings. There's some tone settings, so they're very simple ones if you don't really want to have the realism, and some possibility for color blending, and you're applying the color only to so you have first to create the normal iris, and then you create a second one here where you let bleed in some color, different color. You can do this very popular right eye, left eye, different color variations. Very mighty. So I won't try this out now. So here you have different lashes. Also the eyelash color. Let's create some of those. I think she can get some long but not too extreme ones. I think these one are nice. Maybe they can be a little bit darker, because eyelashes are often a bit darker than the eyebrows. This was fast. I have to close this to really see this. Ah, here you see it. Very light, but nice looking. So you can set some nail settings, so that's similar to the lip settings. You can just set the color, and then you get a glossy index and some other settings, and you get some nail settings. You can set different genital hairs if you want to. Nice options here, so this is really for all uses. 20 different options, so you can really try out a bit here. So these are the general options. So then here we have the utilities. You can do some figure rotation to have a look without the need to leave the tool. You can zoom out a bit here. That's helpful. You can have different. Oh, we wouldn't even have to use our standard cameras. You have this focus on full body, focus on head, focus on upper body, lower body, and on the nails. This is not really working because we have a pose, but this is pretty helpful. And then finally you have the save setting. So the first thing we have to select is a directory to save it. So after you selected the texture final destination, you can then set a prefix for all of your files. Then let's give her a name. Let's call her Amy. And it already selected this correct setting for our material preset, so we probably want to have a subdirectory here. So we selected a subdirectory for Amy, and now we create the matching settings. So now the file was created. You can see you can also create presets for the anatomy, so the genitals, the face, the lips, the nails, the eyes, and the lashes. So these are normally the things you have specific separate material presets to be able to change them easily. So, and now we should be able to see this in our content library. So if we go now into the directory that we choose for the preset in our content library, you see we got here a material preset. I also loaded a different skin on our G3F to test if it really works. So we selected her, and now let's apply this preset and see if we come back to our created skin. Yes, here she is with her reddish pink lips and a lot of freckles and the nice toned skin. So that's enough of testing here, and let's have a wrap up. Really hard to come to a final conclusion regarding this product, because we only really scratched at the surface of what is possible with it. But what we've seen so far is really looking extremely promising. So you've seen in only a couple of minutes of clicking together some options, and we were actually really using the standard options most of the time, so not really doing a lot of things. We created a very respectable result. What comes out of the skin builder is probably not on the level of the very best artist handmade skin textures like you find them in some of the original DAS main characters, or also in the characters of some of the really good at texturing artists. But you get a result that is much better, like some of the not so good skins that you also find in some of even pretty expensive products. And for sure it's much better than what you get in the freebies that are around. So I think for a pretty reasonable price you get a tool that enables you to really create good looking variable skins for each of the characters you use. So you can really customize every character that you use very easily, and if you use it together with shape only packages like they're sold by artists like Alive She Cried on Renderosity, this might even be a big money saver. So we only scratched at the surface, but we could see this is a really mighty good product with a probably immense ROI. You need to invest a little time to find out what works and fiddle with all the possibilities, but if you're willing to do that, you are probably going a lot out of it. So our conclusion for now, with only seeing a little bit of what is possible, is this is a must-have product. Thank you to Seth Zero and Disco Bob, and especially the unfortunately late Dragonstorm for giving us this great product. So I hope you liked our small little review. If you want to see more, please subscribe us on YouTube or follow our Facebook page. These are the two places where we post our videos. Please leave comments. We're very happy to see what you like, what you don't like, what you would like to see in the future, answer questions, whatever. We are, in the meantime, have quite a few other social media accounts, so meet us there too, and visit our website. And I can tell you, in the next couple of weeks, our new catalog software is going live, and it will be a really great tool. Again, thank you for joining us today, watching our videos. Thank you again, and goodbye.